I don't want the politicians who are in charge to do a shit job. I want them to be doing a good job.
Yeah.
And if I haven't got the government that I voted for, I at least want them to be doing at least a half decent job. And if the next person who steps into the role of prime minister, because they're going to roll him before he gets elected out, I want that person to at least be competent. If I don't have the control and it's not the person that I voted in, I at least want the other side to be competent and we have a competent
Yeah.
leader, even if I don't agree with their actions entirely. So I'm never going to be like, I want Erica to continue doing a shit job for education, because ultimately what I'm saying is that all of the kids who are currently affected by her policies are getting fucked over.
Yeah.
So it's
And
a hard thing of like, I want the best person in there, but also if I have the choice to vote, I'm not going to vote for her, obviously, in her government. But if I don't get a choice and someone else votes her or someone else into that seat, I want them to be doing a good job. So I'm going to champion them to do a good job and ask for the person that I think is going to do a better job into that seat. That's where
yeah,
I
and
come from,
I
at least.
look, I think that's a really valid point. Like you look back at the key government, and you had, as an example, Chris Finlayson did a phenomenal job with his portfolio, and that is someone that is on the opposite side of politics that I like. And like, go and look at the Bradbury Group had him on, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
look at his comments around what this national government are doing for Crown and Māori relationships and that sort of thing. And you can see a guy that is incredibly frustrated with what he obviously sees as a betrayal of the work that he has done, that he is seeing all of this undone. Now, he's the perfect example in my mind. He's someone on the other side of politics from me that did a good and competent job for the right reasons, for the net benefit of the country. And I want to know where those guys are. Like, I can have a conversation with someone that is on the opposite side of politics, and I can understand where they come from. Like, we can talk about the benefits of taxation and all of this. I'm fun at parties, shut up. Um, I don't see that with this government. Like, the ferry thing is a really good example. That is not a government looking at the pros and cons of a particular project and going, well, look, it's we didn't put this together, but it's by all accounts a pretty good deal because that's what people are telling us about. And like, we can fiddle around the edges and make it seem like we've had some cost savings and that sort of thing. We'll find them elsewhere to make it look like we've done a better job than the previous government. I understand that that's part of the game, but what we got instead was a really knee-jerk ideologic, ideologically driven decision to shit can the whole thing with no plan in place is incompetence. Whether it's just through sheer ignorance driven from an ideological point of view or just vandalism. I don't have an answer about which one it is. And Nicola Willis is welcome to come on the show and we'd love to discuss it. State your case, be accountable. That sort of thing. There's people in the South Island very concerned about this decision, but I think it's something that perhaps wouldn't have happened under a different national government. I think in the past we've had either pragmatic national governments or ones that, at the very worst, were heavily influenced by opinion polls. This one seems to be almost completely immune to polls and public opinion. And whether that's because National is being dog walked by ACT and New Zealand First, who just clearly don't care. Like, they're pleasing their echo chambers and that's all that matters. They're part of the government, they're not the government. And I mean, you're seeing that from ACT and New Zealand First. They are campaigning for themselves already they're positioning themselves to take bigger chunks of national away. So, yeah, I think the vision of the National Party that we have now is very different from the one that we've had in the past.
Yeah.
And I think that could be just because it was, we want to be part of we want to be the government at all costs. It could be because of the growing faction in National that is driven by the evangelical Christian right. I really don't have answers, but John Key's still got his favourites in this government, that's for sure. I think Stanford was one of them.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. She
I think
definitely
he
has a
was
feeling.
in the House
Yeah.
to see her, perhaps. But yeah, it's a strange one. I think people are waking up to the fact that, and yeah, it's way too late. We said this right from the start. Luxon's a terrible leader. He's a terrible choice. They chose him because he's business daddy. And my God, there's got to be more competent leaders out in that space. Like his pathway is nothing. Like, he hasn't built anything. He's worked for big companies his entire life and has just ended up in the CEO position of one. It's baffling. He's built nothing. He's a poor leader. And he was going to be the next John Key. He was going to be the great white hope for the National Party. It's
Great
weird.
white hope. It's terrible.
Yeah, I did mean it. And look, James, I'm going to highlight your comment here. I disagree, Chewie. It's much the same, just with more racism and doing most of the same bad things faster. And I think that is key. It is the speed. We have seen a speed of action out of this government that we have never seen before.
And I think it's why it's so damaging, right?
I think that it's exactly it. There is no consideration. There's no reflection. It is just, we're going to do this, and that's what we've been voted in to do, and we're doing it, and we won't be swayed. And linking this to the start of the show, bear in mind that these are the criticisms that I have of Labour from their turn at the wheel when they had the mandate, is that they didn't do enough, and they didn't do enough fast enough. And here we have, they lost the election to these guys, and they have no fear of doing it fast, no matter what public opinion is or what the consequences are. So I don't want to see, when we get rid of this government and the left bloc comes in, I guess we don't have to act fast to undo all of this. We might see another term of government that is moving very, very quickly. And with that comes risks of its own. But I think to undo what they've done, they will have to act as quickly, if not more quickly, than our current government has. And that makes for some pretty turbulent times for the population.